Hi, I'm Mayor Jacobs, and I am reading about the United States Constitution. Constitution is a really important document, and it's one that we celebrate this week. It's important because basically it sets the rules that we all live by. And it's part of the reason that our country is the greatest country on the planet. So let's get started. In the U.S. Constitution, my name is James Madison. I was the 4th President of the United States. I also played a big part in making a set of rules for the country. These rules are known as the Constitution. Let me tell you the story. What is the U.S. Constitution? The Constitution of the United States is the plan for how the government works. Now, they're talking about the federal government, okay? The state governments and your local government, like I'm the mayor, that's local government. We're a little different, but all of us have to abide by the rules that the U.S. Constitution sets forth. It's the highest law of the land. In fact, I had to take an oath, just like every other elected official in the country, to support, protect, and defend the Constitution. So it says how much power the branches or parts of the government can have. It tells them how to make laws and how to make sure all Americans follow them. The Constitution is a symbol of democracy. Now, there's a slight difference between democracy and a republic. In a democracy, people make the rules and they can do whatever they want in a pure democracy. In a republic, we have a set rule, a set body of rules that people have to abide by, that people have to follow. And what people do is then they elect representatives who go in and write these laws, but all of them have to follow the Constitution. The Constitution is the highest law in the United States. It is more important than any city or state law. In other words, I can't do anything as Knox County mayor that would violate the United States Constitution. The first rules of the United States. After winning the Revolutionary War in 1783, the United States was a new country. Like any country, it needed rules. Its first set of rules were called the Articles of Confederation. These rules joined together the 13 states. It was a start, but the country needed more. The United States needed a better form of government. The Articles of Confederation were really loose, like they gave a lot of power to the states. And what the U.S. Constitution did is it formed a more powerful federal government, which was over the states. Who wrote the Constitution? In May 1787, delegates from most of the 13 states met in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Their job was to write the Constitution, a new set of rules for the country's government. This meeting was called the Constitutional Convention. The 55 delegates at the meeting later became known as the framers of the Constitution. Now, Rhode Island was the only state that did not send any delegates to the Constitutional Convention. Interesting trivia if you're ever on Jeopardy or anything like that. Many different ideas. Writing the Constitution was not easy. Many people had different ideas about what it should say. Some men wanted a strong national government. Others didn't. There was a lot of arguing. Finally, on September 17th, 1787, the arguing stopped and the delegates signed the Constitution. Then the states had to agree to follow it. The last one did so in 1790. James Madison was a delegate from Virginia. He helped the other delegates at the Constitutional Convention work through their differences. Madison was both smart and fair. He is known today as the father of the Constitution. The parts of the Constitution. The Constitution has 3 main parts: the preamble, the articles, and the amendments. Number 1, the preamble. The preamble is the beginning of the Constitution. The preamble tells Americans why they need a government and a constitution. And it reads, and it's actually right up there, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." And the second part is the articles. The 7 articles of the Constitution explain the branches of the U.S. government. They tell what these branches can and cannot do. In the United States, the people run the government. Americans have the right to vote. When they vote, Americans choose the people who will work for them in the government. The articles allow people in government to keep all Americans safe. They say that the government can build an army and a navy to guard the country. The articles divide the U.S. government into 3 branches. Each branch has different powers. No one branch can become stronger than the others. This is called a balance of power. Each branch is equal. The executive branch. This branch is made up of the president, the vice president, and the people who help them do their jobs. It's headquartered in the White House. It's just like here in Knox County, like Parks and Rec, the library system, engineering and public works who do our roads, all those departments are under my office. And it's the same with the federal government, okay? Basically, the day-to-day operations of the federal government are carried out by the president and the executive branch. He's not only is he the president, but he's also an administrator of government in the U.S. The legislative branch. This branch is made up of the Congress, which is divided into 2 parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Congress makes the nation's laws. It is headquartered in the Capitol. The judicial branch. This branch is the court system. Judges see that laws are carried out in the right way. The judicial branch is headquartered in the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the United States. And then we get on to the amendments. The amendments were not part of the original. Oh, and by the way, you have the 3 branches, and then there's also other stuff in the body of the Constitution, the articles, that talks about how the Constitution can be amended, how it's going to be ratified when it went to the states for a vote, and that sort of stuff, okay? And then you have the amendments. The amendments were not part of the original Constitution. They were added later. They give Americans many rights. They don't actually give you any rights. The Founding Fathers realized that rights are inherent because of our humanity. So what they do is they actually outline and protect specific rights that you have. And then the 9th Amendment is actually a catch-all that says all these other rights in the Bill of Rights, those aren't it, okay? You have almost an infinite number of rights that the government can't infringe upon. So anyway, for example, the amendments say that Americans cannot be made slaves. They can belong to any religion they want. All Americans age 18 and older can vote. Since it was signed in 1787, the Constitution has been amended or added to 27 times. The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. These are the most important rights Americans have. And there was a lot of discussion and fighting about the Bill of Rights because some folks didn't want to have the Bill of Rights included in the Constitution. But then there was a group that said, look, we're not going to ratify this thing unless these specific rights in the Bill of Rights are included. And that was the compromise, that the rest of the Constitution would be ratified, and then the Bill of Rights was actually added a little later. For more than 200 years, the Constitution has kept the U.S. government strong. I'm proud of our Constitution. Now that you know its story, I hope you are too. So I hope that gives you a better idea of what the Constitution is, a little of the history behind it, and why it's so important.